Police, judicial, and justice accountability. Core principle. Justice must be independent, impartial, accountable, and subject to the rule of law. Police officers, judges, prosecutors, prison officials, and all public officials involved in the justice system possess significant authority over the lives, liberty, property, and rights of citizens. Because of this authority, they must be held to higher standards of conduct, neutrality, evidence, professionalism, and accountability. The purpose of this system is not to make policing or judging political. The purpose is to ensure that neither police officers nor judges may use public authority to enforce private political beliefs, ideological preferences, personal bias, corruption, selective enforcement, or unequal justice. Justice must remain lawful, evidence-based, politically neutral, transparent, and accountable. No person, institution, or office shall be above the law. 1. Duty to preserve life. All police officers have a legal duty to preserve life once an individual is under their control or care. This duty applies regardless of race, religion, political beliefs, criminal allegations, public reputation, or media attention. If an individual is restrained, handcuffed, injured, unconscious, bleeding, experiencing medical distress, or unable to care for themselves, officers must provide or immediately obtain medical assistance. Failure to provide reasonable medical aid may constitute serious misconduct and, where severe injury or death occurs, criminal negligence. An accusation does not remove a person's right to medical treatment. 2. Mandatory body camera requirements. All frontline officers must use body cameras during arrests, stop and search, use of force, public order incidents, forced entry, detainee transport, and custody handovers. Deliberate deactivation, obstruction, or tampering with recording equipment during operational activity shall trigger automatic investigation. Where recording failure occurs, officers must provide a written explanation. Repeated failures may result in disciplinary action. 3. Independent Police Misconduct Authority. Serious police misconduct shall be investigated by an independent police misconduct authority. This body shall be legally independent from police forces, government ministers, political parties, activist organizations, and media institutions. The authority may investigate unlawful violence, excessive force, failure to preserve life, false arrest, evidence tampering, corruption, discriminatory enforcement, politically motivated policing, abuse of authority, refusal to investigate serious crime, and misconduct in public office. Possible penalties include formal warning, retraining, suspension, dismissal, loss of rank, pension penalties in severe cases, criminal prosecution, and permanent exclusion from public service. 4. Judicial neutrality. Judges must apply the law equally regardless of political opinion, race, sex, religion, wealth, public pressure, media campaigns, or personal ideology. Judges may hold private opinions but shall not allow those opinions to influence sentencing, bail decisions, evidence rulings, trial conduct, or treatment of victims and defendants. The law must be applied consistently and fairly. 5. National Sentencing Review Office. A National Sentencing Review Office shall monitor sentencing patterns throughout the justice system. Its purpose is to identify unusually harsh sentencing, unusually lenient sentencing, political or ideological sentencing trends, repeated deviation from sentencing guidelines, regional inconsistencies, and systematic failures of judicial standards. The office does not replace courts. Its role is to identify patterns that may indicate bias, misconduct, corruption, or failure within the justice system. 6. Serious judicial review triggers. A formal judicial review may be initiated where evidence suggests a judge repeatedly imposes unusually lenient sentences for violent crime, imposes unusually lenient sentences for sexual offenses, imposes unusually harsh penalties for minor non-violent offenses, repeatedly departs from sentencing guidelines without justification, demonstrates political or ideological bias, or undermines confidence in the impartial administration of justice. Where misconduct is established, penalties may include formal warning, mandatory retraining, suspension, reassignment, removal from office, or criminal investigation where corruption exists. 7. Personal responsibility for unlawful orders. No public official may avoid responsibility for unlawful actions by claiming they were merely following orders. This principle applies to police officers, judges, prosecutors, prison officials, civil servants, government officials, and all holders of public authority. If an individual knowingly participates in unlawful arrest, politically motivated prosecution, suppression of evidence, denial of legal rights, corruption, abuse of authority, selective enforcement, unlawful detention, or unconstitutional actions, both the individual issuing the order and the individual carrying out the order may be held personally accountable under the law. The defense of "I was only following orders" shall not automatically exempt any person from responsibility. Officials possess a duty to refuse unlawful instructions and report serious misconduct. 8. Duty to report corruption and political interference. Police officers, judges, prosecutors, and public officials have a legal duty to report attempts to influence justice for political purposes, ideological purposes, financial gain, personal relationships, corruption, media pressure, or institutional self-protection. Whistleblower protection shall apply to individuals acting in good faith. Retaliation against whistleblowers shall itself constitute serious misconduct. 9. Equal application of justice. The law shall apply equally to politicians, judges, police officers, wealthy individuals, corporations, public officials, and ordinary citizens. No individual shall receive favorable treatment due to wealth, political influence, public office, social status, institutional position, or media influence. Public office increases responsibility under the law rather than reducing it. 10. Abuse of public office. Criminal acts committed while exercising public authority shall be treated as aggravated offenses. This includes crimes committed by police officers, judges, prosecutors, elected officials, prison officers, and senior civil servants. The public grants exceptional powers to these positions. Abuse of those powers represents a serious breach of public trust and may justify enhanced penalties beyond those imposed upon ordinary citizens committing the same offense. 11. Public accountability without mob rule. Police officers and judges must remain accountable, but justice must not be driven by public outrage, social media campaigns, political activists, or media pressure. Therefore, complaints must be evidence-based. Independent review is required. Accused officials retain due process rights. Decisions must be legally documented. and disciplinary findings must be publicly recorded. Justice must be accountable without becoming political. 12. Citizen Justice Petition. Citizens may submit a justice accountability petition where credible evidence suggests police misconduct, judicial bias, corruption, political interference, abuse of authority, or serious institutional failure. Petitions require supporting evidence, signature thresholds, legal review, and independent assessment. A petition does not automatically overturn a decision. It compels formal review. 13. Protection against political policing. Police forces shall prioritize enforcement according to measurable public harm. Priority shall be given to murder, rape, violent crime, child abuse, organized crime, terrorism, serious assault, theft, fraud, and threats to public safety. Political fashion, media pressure, ideological trends, or public popularity shall not determine enforcement priorities. Justice resources must focus first on crimes causing the greatest harm. 14. Deterrence and sentencing principles. The justice system shall operate according to the principle that criminal conduct must carry consequences sufficient to discourage offending. The objective is that the likely consequences of committing a crime outweigh any potential benefit gained from committing that crime. Punishments must remain proportionate, lawful, evidence-based, consistent, and subject to due process. Sentencing exists to achieve public protection, deterrence, accountability, rehabilitation where possible, and confidence in the justice system. Neither excessive leniency nor excessive severity serves justice. 15. Constitutional principle. Justice serves the law. The police shall not become political enforcers. Judges shall not become political activists. Public anger shall not become mob justice. Government authority shall not override lawful rights. No official shall be permitted to claim obedience to orders as a defense for unlawful conduct. The correct balance is independent police, accountable police, independent judges, accountable judges, strong justice, equal justice, political neutrality. 7.1 Cost, police, judicial and justice accountability. Low-cost scenario. Assumptions. Existing police watchdog structures expanded. Existing judicial oversight retained. Most body camera systems already exist. Limited legal disputes. One-off costs. Item cost. Legislative changes £15 million. Sentencing Review Office set up £15 million. Police Misconduct Authority expansion £20 million. Transparency systems £10 million. Total one-off cost £60 million. Annual running cost. Item cost. Misconduct Authority £25 million. Sentencing Review Office £10 million. Investigations £15 million. Administration £10 million. Annual cost £60 million. Medium cost scenario. Assumptions. Independent national authority created. National sentencing database. Expanded review teams. Increased transparency requirements. Moderate legal resistance. One-off costs. Item cost. Legislative and regulatory reform £25 million. National sentencing database £30 million. Police Misconduct Authority creation £50 million. Digital transparency systems £20 million. Staff recruitment and training £25 million. Total one-off cost: £150 million. Annual running cost. Item cost: Misconduct Authority £50 million. Sentencing Review Office £25 million. Investigations £30 million. Hearings and reviews £20 million. Administration £25 million. Annual cost: £150 million. High-cost scenario. Assumptions. Significant legal challenges. Large-scale police oversight expansion. Extensive judicial review processes. Major digital evidence systems. Heavy resistance from institutions. One-off costs. Item cost: National Reform Programme £75 million. Oversight infrastructure £75 million. Digital systems £75 million. Legal challenges £75 million. Recruitment and training £50 million. Total one-off cost: £350 million. Annual running cost. Item cost: Misconduct Authority £100 million. Sentencing Review Office £50 million. Investigations £50 million. Reviews and hearings £50 million. Administration £50 million. Annual cost: £300 million. 7.2 Savings and Efficiency Program. Unlike chapters 4 to 6, this chapter is not primarily designed to save money. Its primary purpose is accountability, public trust, transparency, reduction of corruption, reduction of misconduct, reduction of wrongful decisions. However, some measurable savings should still occur. Low savings scenario. Year savings. Year 1 £50 million. Year 2 £75 million. Year 3 £100 million. Year 4 £125 million. Year 5 £150 million. Medium savings scenario. Year savings. Year 1 £100 million. Year 2 £200 million. Year 3 £300 million. Year 4 £400 million. Year 5 £500 million. High savings scenario. Year savings. Year 1 £250 million. Year 2 £500 million. Year 3 £750 million. Year 4 £1 billion. Year 5 £1.5 billion. Sources of savings. Potential savings may come from reduced misconduct payouts, fewer failed investigations, reduced corruption, reduced wrongful arrest compensation, reduced court delays, reduced judicial inconsistency, faster case management, improved evidence handling, improved public confidence reducing legal disputes. Recommended working assumption. Item amount. Setup cost £150 million. Annual cost £150 million. Year 5 savings target £500 million per year. Net fiscal position. Scenario annual cost year 5 savings net position. Low £60 million, £150 million plus £90m. Medium £150 million, £500 million plus £350m. High £300 million, £1.5 billion plus £1.2 bn. Treasury note. This chapter should be classified as a justice integrity program, not a government savings program. Unlike chapters 4, 5, and 6, success should be measured primarily through public confidence, reduction in misconduct, consistency of sentencing, reduction in corruption, Transparency. Equal application of justice. With any financial savings treated as a secondary benefit rather than the primary objective.